So what's my interest in all of this, and why did I feel the need to look for a better system of health and healing than what I was getting in the traditional approach, which wasn't really working? Having come from a military background, experience in Gulf War, the first Gulf War in the Middle East, and having been a director in the corporate world with over 650 staff and multi-million pound budgets, I had my fair share of stress that I managed mainly through exercise and sometimes alcohol. As at the time I didn't really know any better, and obviously that wasn't really helping things and damaging my health long term. But anyway, all this was fairly insignificant compared to what happened a few years back. I was driving to the airport in Saudi Arabia when I had a car crash. I rolled and flipped my car on a desert road just outside Riyadh. I was unconscious for an unknown time, presumed to be somewhere between 30 and 60 minutes. But when I came to, I was on my feet wondering what had happened, as I had no memory of the incident. Feeling fine thanks to the adrenaline, I managed to get a lift to the airport from some Egyptian lads that had stopped to help. The police arranged for a tow truck to take my car back to Dhahran, which was some 300 plus kilometres away, and I said I would sort it out when I came back from holiday after Christmas. I got on the plane where I had a few medicinal drinks, as I used to drink at that time, and managed to get back to the UK. My then wife picked me up from the airport, took one look at me and said, "Oh my God." So about 18 hours after the crash, I was in St George's Hospital in Tooting, A&E, having CT scans I had some blood coming out of my ear, and I couldn't really remember much. Physically I had a cracked rib and a few cracked bones in my hand, some minor cuts and bruises, but not too bad really, considering. But my blood pressure was extremely high, almost double, and attracted comments like, "You flew like that?" But I guess shock and adrenaline has its wonders, and I guess I was pretty lucky really. Anyway, this was just the beginning of a new way of life, as within a few weeks I started to get in very strange symptoms, where I lost just complete chunks of memory. Even the Christmas I had just shared a few weeks earlier, celebrating my first granddaughter's first Christmas, and the reason why I was back for Christmas, looking at photos I was in was like looking at someone else. I couldn't concentrate or focus. I was having panic attacks, crying for no reason, so I might just be washing the dishes and the tears would come out for no reason. And there's a whole host of symptoms that were categorised as post-concussion syndrome and post-traumatic stress disorder. So over the next few years or two, my life changed completely in every way. I was medically discharged from my job in Saudi Arabia, so medical redundancy. My wife wanted a divorce after 32 years of marriage because I had changed, and and I had changed. I lost my house, nearly drank myself to death. I was submitted to hospital a number of times with esophagitis and coughing up blood, treated for depression, bipolar, was diagnosed as diabetic, high blood pressure I had, and they also said I had a hiatus hernia and reflux, all of which I had prescribed pharmaceutical remedies. I even attended rehab for over a month, and AA sessions for several months, which actually just made me worse. It didn't really work for me. Also I ended up homeless at the time, so I was accepted onto mental health programs where I was passed from assessment to assessment and waiting list to waiting list, and I was considered too complex for each department. I was told many times by doctors I would need prescription drugs for the rest of my life. I think it's hard to define a rock bottom, but I guess I was pretty close. During this time, going through the same sort of period, I experienced a spiritual awakening, and it really confused me. I didn't understand what was happening to me. I got myself private counselling. My GP advised if I could afford it to do that, so I did. And did a lot of reading, and then I took myself off to Deepak Chopra Center in Carlsbad, California for a number of residential courses around spirituality, healing and better health. I also travelled to Kerala in southern India for further courses and treatments, Ayurveda treatments, and also doing yoga. Then I moved on to the Dharamshala in the Himalayas and did the yoga teachers training courses. I went back a couple of times and I've also studied energy, Reiki, sound healing and Thai massage to understand the energy lines working better, reflexology. And these were all to add to my portfolio of neuralistic programming, profiling and coaching skills that I had developed over many years, even before my car crash. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that Ayurveda, meditation and yoga, which includes all aspects of yoga, not just the asana or exercise practice, has saved my life. I'm no longer on any medication. I don't have high blood pressure or diabetes. I'm no longer classified as bipolar or have the massive mood swings I once experienced. And I have not drunk any alcohol for almost 2 years now. I am now dedicating my working life building products that gave me access to the healing and wellness practices that allowed me to not only get through some of the most challenging years of my life, but brought me to a level of health that exceeds anything I had previously. During my counselling, I discovered I had shut down a lot of my emotions for most of my life because of multiple years of sexual child abuse, although I had no memory of it, and I managed my stress through alcohol, work and distraction, but somehow balanced through maintaining a strong family bond with my children. On this journey, I've learned a great deal about moving away from sickness and towards wellness, and put a lot of it into practice. So I have personal experience of many of the challenges stress can cause. Pretty much I hit rock bottom, depths of despair I couldn't have dreamed of, unable at times to help myself, but somehow found the strength, wisdom and guidance to rebuild my health and my life. I've also met a large number of people on my travels who have overcome all sorts of ailments and life challenges, including cancer. I also met a few who have passed away and found inner peace and a deeper love before their bodies gave in. It taught me that healing is not just about fixing physical ailments, which, like the ones I had, were all pretty much lifestyle and diet choices, could be cured. But it was much deeper than this. I also learned how we choose most physical illnesses, by the choices we make each and every day. This course pretty much covers the foundations that will underpin most of the courses I intend to deliver over the next few years, working with colleagues and friends that have a similar mission to help those looking to find inner peace, love and balance that help reduce or eliminate stress. During this course, I will introduce several topics to help you reduce, eliminate or at least manage the stress in your life and possibly change your life forever in a way it did for me.